those are some cool looking wings. I'm going to close everything else out. And Marcos, I know you're itching to get onto the boss character too. All right, so have you gone in and I can't remember Griffalo? I like that. I like that name. So you did finish retopologizing then, yes? And actually, do you mind if I unmute you? Do you have a mic? Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if you did or didn't. All right, so you had gone through and okay, so you're gonna finish the retopology today, and you worked on the design a bit. I could see in the silhouette of the head, it looks I mean, the silhouette looks really nice. Honestly, I like what you have going on in the silhouette of the wings. I like this rounded shape. It fits. Um, the eyes, let's see. The eyes feel better. It looks like you adjusted the angle there. It looks good. I like what you started building here in the mouth. I like that sort of I'm trying to remember of like I don't know, it's just like I'm trying to reference a creature right now and my mind is failing me. Um, but I like what you've done with the mouth. I like that it feels, it has like those teeth to it. It's unique. It's cool. You have a lot of very nice, graceful lines. I mean, this leading line here is really nice. I think, and this is a little bit nitpicky, I think, but I think a little bit of roundness here would serve you. Like right now, it's very flat in this area, and so what it's doing is it's taking your silhouette, and you're getting this really nice dramatic curve here, little dip here, and then we go angle, angle. I have this thing that if I don't like the face, I don't want to do something else. I feel you. I mean, the thing is that to get a face right, I mean, I'm not even 100% satisfied with my head yet, and I don't have the time to focus on it. I'm just doing like, okay, this is the best that I got, and this is what it's going to hold. I'm going to put more energy into my next character, but to really go in and tune this, I think it's worthwhile. I mean, this is really strong. I mean, it's a good stylized piece. I think you have a good concept, and I'd say picking up on little things like that. I mean, maybe there's a little lump here that comes in and sweeps into this in the silhouette. But I would play with that line. I apologize for any background noise. They brought in the wrecking balls into the office. Let's see. From the front, I love it. Maybe a little bit more roundness here. Like you already have it started. Like I mean, you know where this, what movement's going on here. You already have it in there. I would say just round out that shape a bit more and commit to it. Does that make sense? Like just commit to that shape a little bit more, and I would just round that out a little bit. Let's see. this whole form you have here, man, it's just, this is nice, leading from the ear down in through the eye. I mean, you have some really good stuff in here. I think that it's all just a matter of, I mean, I would say that you're making a very successful creature. I mean, I'm looking at all of your, I mean, you're also, you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's. Um, this is nice. Let me see. I don't have annotation on Mac, so you have to follow my cursor, my pointer here. Um, I think everything is lining up here, right? Like this is all lining up. And I think that if you were to bring this little bit, like I'd say, if this is the zygomatic and this is the zygomatic process, zygomatic arch, it should probably peak about here. Well, you kind of already have that in there right there. But I'd say I'd want to see that turn a little bit sooner so that this was less aligned, if that makes sense. Are you following me, Marcos? In from the front view, uh, I'd say no, that feels good. Let me see, do you have a side view of the body? You don't have a side view of the body. I don't know, I feel like there should be something in here that feels like the lats, right? Connecting into the wing. And it looks like you, I mean, I can clearly see that you have something of the lats, like the latissimus in here already, and it's leading in, but I don't know, I feel like I should see some of that from the front. But those are my main points, although, let's see. Let me look at your larger forms and hold up my stylus to the screen. I'm looking at this shape that you have there. Okay, cool. I'll take a look at the topology too in just a second. So let's see, from front to side. I don't know, I guess that angle, the angular, or this angle here makes sense. If I'm looking at your overall design and I'm looking at the shapes that you formed here, I think that you're good, but I think that, I don't know, I would maybe try to see if you can carry this language. No, it's okay. I can read dyslexic. um, but I guess I'm going to say, I'll just say this last thing about design. Um, I'd say that you like just the rhythm that you've established in the head. It would be cool to see more of that through the lower body. And I'm not sure how you would express it here, but I think that there's got to be some opportunity here to kind of mimic that. And I think it's going to make a stronger piece. If you unify all these pieces, if you unify the language of the piece, I think it's gonna make for an overall stronger piece. And you already have a strong piece, but I'm talking about just taking it a little bit further. But let me take a look at your topology and see how it's going. You know, I always say this. Oh, awesome, thanks. I always say this when I'm in production, that I'm a much better technician than I am an esthetician or an aesthetictician, or that's even a word. I made up that word, but than an artist. Um, I tend to lean towards the critical, but it's inspiring for me to see you bring up a beautiful design like this. And my designs are typically okay, but I see some really nice stuff in here. I mean, actually, now that I'm looking at your side view, you can disregard a good portion of what I said because your design language is solid. Like your silhouette is beautiful, and I'm just gonna flatter you and tell you that it's beautiful. It's really nice, man. Yeah, I mean your first piece was really strong. I never saw the final, but the first what you posted was awesome. This piece is shaping up to be quite beautiful too. I mean, I'm just looking at the rib cage, and you have some really nice stuff going in there, man. Leg looks beautiful. Your anatomy is graceful. It's very nice, man. And it's subdued and subtle. I would say one thing though. Are you working in this material? And here's the technician coming out. Okay. I would say don't make it too much of a habit to work in the matte cap. I would use more of a blend, basic material 3, or some basic material. And the reason being is that matte caps have their light baked into them, right? So it may be telling you that your depth is one way, right? When your depth is actually not what you're seeing in your matte cap. Like red clay or the red wax is very much like that. It makes it look like your cavities are deeper than they are, your valleys are deeper than they are. But let's take a look at your topo. Okay. The head looks good, except for you changed it, right? You brought the teeth into it. So you're gonna have to reflect that in your topology. Anything that breaks the silhouette, you're gonna want to express in your topology, in your base mesh. And those teeth break the silhouette of the interior of the mouth. So let's look from the top. The base of the wing looks good. I see an issue in the back leg. All right. So the arm looks okay. I can't tell if that's a try or if you've quadded that out. It's not really that important. If it's a single try, it's not a big deal. Your feet are looking good. They're nice and light. Your model's nice and light. I mean, this looks to be about 1,200 polys or under 1,000. I'm just curious where your poly count is. Is it about 1,000 right now? It looks like it might even be less. It's super light. You can go to display, heads up display, and then poly count. And then you select the mesh and it'll tell you the poly count. No apologies necessary. Yeah. So like this guy is 22,000 polys. I blew the bank a little bit with the saddle, but oh, okay. So you're at like, oh, well, there you go. You're looking at tries. So you're looking at, yeah, about 1,300 polys for half the body. Or 1,300 quads is what you're looking at right now. All right. So do you see the issue in the back leg? Yeah. So let's look at the flow here. Come down to the lower leg. There's this edge loop that surrounds that leg, right? This is sort of like your, this is a base from which the leg can rotate. The base of the leg can rotate, right? As far as how it comes, swings around. Its range of motion starts here. If we go into the back, you have a cylinder that comes down through the body, and essentially the lower leg has become just an extrusion off of that cylinder, and it's broken from what would be natural motion or would be a natural structure. So where the extrusion should start, or where I should see an edge loop here that moves around in an area, is around the pelvic ridge. Right, you have it down here. I can see that by your 5-sided star here, and it wraps around right there, and you kind of started the leg in that area. When actually this edge loop should be coming around this way, and it could be a relatively quick fix. I think by collapsing this edge, or these two, like merging these two vertices, that would land you in the right spot. And then you'd have to find the corresponding spot towards the back. Yeah, exactly. It's the bikini-like edge loop. It's the one that goes around the pelvic ridge, the pelvic line. So that's the only thing I see in your topology that's missing. I think between your sculpt and well, you know what? The other thing that I'm seeing too, and I hate to say this to you, and you can do this. You can do this after the fact. It doesn't necessarily have to happen right now, but you do need to bring these limbs out into their neutral state if you intend to rig this. And let's see, I promised you guys some rigging content, and I'll have a good friend of mine, a game rigger, come in and lecture for you guys. And he can talk more about that and setting up your characters for, or how to build a skeleton for your characters. There is, and not to be like all self-promoting, and this isn't a marketing thing, it just happens that it's coming up. So BZP Pro, have you heard of BZP Pro? All right. So it's automatic skinning, or automatic weighting, I should say. Um, and they're giving this away on, I want to say this is on Thursday. We have a webinar. There'll be an email going out. But basically, it's you'll be able to rig out your stuff and get automatic weighting. And I think they're offering like a discount. They're also giving away a license, but it's worth checking out. But the guy I'm bringing in will demo out weighting for you guys, like hand weighting, painting your weights inside of Maya. Trying to think of anything else of value that I can provide for you on your piece. And I gotta be honest with you, Marcos. You're one of the more difficult guys to help, because your work is at in such good shape. I mean, you're very well along in your craft. So I mean, it's good because you push me to dig deeper, to help you out. But yeah, you'll definitely want this in a neutral state. Well, cool, man. I'm glad you're learning a lot. Um, I have a lot of technical workflows that I've accumulated over the years from various projects and mentors, and I like sharing those. Um, but yeah, you want to make sure you have that for the rig, because otherwise it's not going to rig properly, and whoever tries to animate with it, um, it just won't work well. But dude, awesome job. I mean, I'm really impressed with your work.